Big news from John Deere. They're upgrading the entire subcompact tractor line. New model numbers, a lot of new features, new variants. We're going to tell you all about it in this episode. Let's get started. Now this is pre-release info. The information's not been made publicly available yet. We have it from, as they say, sources familiar with the matter. That's right, we got a scoop here. We have three major new model numbers. The 1E23 corresponds to the 1023E, the 1M25, 1025R, and the 1R25, which is the same as the 2025R, at least in general the same. The biggest update is a cab, an air-conditioned cab. Yeah, we've had the Mauser cab for several years, but this cab is air-conditioned from the factory. In addition to heat and air conditioning standard, there's an optional radio. The front wiper is standard. There's an optional rear wiper. This cab is very similar to the prior Mauser cab that was available on the 1 Series and the 2025R. But the design of the tractor has changed a bit and makes me wonder if it will be a little bit quieter. The prior design was an add-on to the existing 1 Series or 2025R, and so this hood mechanism and the dash was all contiguous here. The new design separates that, which is going to be, well, it's a much more advanced option, and hopefully it'll reduce the vibration, the noise aspect coming up through the cab. I really don't have any idea how much of an impact this will have on the noise levels in the cab, but it should help a little bit at least. If you've had a chance to operate one of these machines, let us know in the comments what your experience has been. Is it quieter than the existing cab? We'd love to hear that. If you haven't watched our channel a lot, our 1025R has been dramatically changed. We have this wrap on it to indicate that it's, well, non-standard. It has the turbo kit from hydrosplus.com and many other advanced options that make it atypical. So that's what this wrap is all about, but underneath all of it, it is a 1025R. What we're seeing in the new model is a significant change in the way the hood works. Whereas this hood comes up and leaves all of the lights and the front grille attached, the new hood, all of it comes up together, folds right up like this, and that gives you much better access to the battery. It should be much easier to change that battery, to access the radiator and some of that area in there. In addition, the front hood guard is much different. It looks wimpier, to be honest, but it folds forward, okay, to be able to allow you to rotate that hood up. A lot of competitive brands have been doing that, and Deere now has chosen that approach. Fold the hood guard forward, then you can lift the hood and get pretty good access. So the side panels, they stay with the top hood now. They're not separate side panels anymore. And of course, it's got a new sticker on the side with the new design. We talk about the model numbers a little bit. This corresponds to what Deere has done across their entire product line. Like in the big stuff, they have the 8R 335 now instead of the 8335R. That's the same horsepower. So you have the 8R and then the 335. Well, you have the 1M25, right? So it is a good way to divide this up. So you have the family, essentially the frame size of the tractor, and then you have the horsepower listed separately. I like that. Now I am a little bit surprised to see the M designation on the 1M25. Typically we have the E Series, which is the economy or entry-level line, and then we have the R Series for the most advanced, the fanciest one, right? The M Series is typically kind of a mid-range. I have no idea what the terms mean, R, M, and E, but that's kind of how I think of it. But in this case, the 1M25 just means the smaller frame size. So it appears to have all the same options, all the same standard features as the 1R25. The 1R is just bigger. So it's perhaps removed some confusion because the 2025R is often grouped with the 2 Series tractors, where it's really the 1 Series frame, 1 Series powertrain with just a little bit longer wheelbase to allow for the larger tires. But now it's adding some confusion as well, because the M versus the R makes you think that the larger one is going to be a slightly more luxurious, and I don't believe that's going to be the case. One of the larger changes is to do with this front frame and how it is compatible with all the different attachment types. This is a quick hitch that is actually pretty old. This concept has been around for years and years and years in the Deere line. And what they've done is that they've changed the way this front frame and some of this assembly works in order to make it more compatible with these older quick hitches as well as with the newer front 3-point hitch. It should just make it less expensive for the consumer to be able to get all of the parts that they need to attach these different types of options. Now, additionally, if you get a front end loader factory installed, the third function kit is standard. So third function kits have been an add-on. In fact, when we first got our 1025R, no one even considered a third function kit as something that people would want on a subcompact tractor. And now if you get a factory installed loader, it comes standard. Newly available is a 6-port single point. We've been showing the 6-port single point from Faster for several years now from discounthydraulichose.com. Well, now it's going to be available directly from Deere on your 1 Series tractor if you get the new 1M, 1R tractor. If you get the 120R loader factory installed, you don't have to get it. Look to me like you can order it with or without, but you can get the 6-port. Now, you can see that the older 4-port top half will work on the 6-port bottom half if you have, like the blade here that I have, that only needs 2 functions in front. Now, all of the mid-mount mower hardware has always been dealer installed in the past, as far as I know, but now you can get it factory installed. And that took a lot of time for the dealer to do it, and probably additional cost, because every dealer had to be trained in order to be able to do this install properly. It may improve some quality, it should reduce some cost, but you can now order that mid-mount mower kit pre-installed on your tractor from the factory. Now in 2025, I believe it was, we got a new dash in the 1025R, and now they've improved that again. They've added a fuel gauge, an electronic fuel gauge in the dash for the M and R models. The 1E23 still includes the mechanical fuel gauge, the way it's been all these years. Now there's a new backhoe listed on the Deere website right now. You can go look at that. It's called the BH160. And it's a new model number, but it's not clear to me that it's any different from the 260B backhoe that we've had for several years. In fact, a lot of the photos on the site feature the 260B backhoe. The big question is if this backhoe will work on the new cab tractor. It would not work on the prior cab tractor, and I thought there was a chance that this new backhoe might be made differently such that it would be compatible with the air-conditioned cab, but I do not believe it is. There is no Power Beyond kit available for the 1M or 1R25 cab models. And so, yeah, I don't think the backhoe is going to be compatible. But you know what? The backhoe is a lot less important, to me at least, than it was a few years ago. These little Chinese mini excavators have displaced a lot of the drive for having the little backhoe on the 1025R. And don't get me wrong, I love the little backhoe. But it's hard to turn down a $2,000 to $3,000 Chinese mini excavator versus an $8,000 backhoe. One sales manager on Facebook said that there would be a public announcement on this on February 10th. That would correspond to the first day of the World Ag Expo in Tulare, California. So maybe there will actually be one at that show. Who knows? You'll find out in a couple of days. Now the question is, will we see this at the National Farm Machinery Show, which starts February 11th in Louisville, Kentucky? I'm not hopeful. Deere pulled out of this show several years ago and delegated all of the John Deere booth to a local dealer. And since that's happened, we've had no new equipment shown, at least in the compact tractor size. So I really am not hopeful that we will see that equipment there. Now, I find this a little bit unusual that they've shifted away from the National Farm Machinery Show. It's an incredible show for the rural lifestyle small ag kind of guy. There are no other shows like that in anywhere, as far as I know. Now, the only show that Deere participates in the Midwest is the Farm Progress Show, and that is geared toward big ag, totally big ag. There is no compact equipment there at all. So it's kind of interesting, the old stereotype showing that Deere is not quite as interested in the small equipment. Well, that kind of backs it up, even though they claim differently. Now, if we see one at the show this week, we will let you know, I promise you that, and we'll give you up close evaluation of everything that we can find. So stay tuned for that. Even if we don't see one there, we'll keep you updated as we find out more information. Now, when can you actually expect to see these machines? What we hear is that they expect to be available in August. I have no idea when they can be ordered. One thing that we did hear was you might be able to order the cab tractor before the open station or the open station before the cab. And this depends on existing inventories of the 1 Series tractors. My suspicion is that the cab model will be open for orders first because, well, it didn't have a competitor with air conditioning. So I would expect it would be the first one we would see. And, you know, just like autos, it'll also be the most expensive one. So oftentimes they start with the most expensive models first. Now, this is the first major update to the 1 Series line since 2011, 2012, that time frame. And even so, I don't expect any changes to the powertrain. The engine, transmission, I expect that all to be left alone and unchanged. There were some hydraulic system changes in 2025, I believe, that improved efficiency a lot and made some components more compatible across the 3 models, hopefully, again, reducing costs and reducing price to the end customer. But there have been no engine or transmission changes since the 1026R to 1025R transition here in the USA, due to the EPA's Tier 4 diesel regulations. Really, the biggest complaint about these Deere 1 Series tractors has been what's happened to their price over the last 10 years or so. They used to be very competitive with some of the other brands, and it just hasn't been that way for the last several years. A lot of these changes seem to be geared toward improving their efficiency and improving their cost structure so that they're easier to design, easier to build. And so the question is, will we see it? Will the customers see a more cost competitive unit that has the additional features as well? Deere's 1 Series tractor is incredibly feature rich and flexible for a lot of different tasks with just all these different front connectivity options and just more feature and option flexibility than probably any other brand. And the air-conditioned cab fills a huge gap there, right? I mean, other brands have had that now for a year or two, and now Deere has one of their own. I wanted to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think about the air-conditioned cab model? Do you think the tractor will have enough power to pull it? Do you think it'll be worth the price? Do you think it'll be quiet? Is it something that you're interested in buying yourself? Are you going to hold off from a 1025R purchase or a 2025R purchase, waiting on one of these machines? Let us know in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. You know what they're missing, Christy? They don't have an oil temperature gauge like Johnny X. And then once you put the oil temperature gauge on, you realize how hot the oil gets. So they need the Hydros Plus oil cooler on the front. And some folks were asking for a turbo. I don't think they can get away with that with the EPA. Go to hydrosplus.com and use code TTWT.